I listen to Neil Pickup's podcast with you all the time, Paul, and I was talking with my friends last week, and I was actually talking to a guy named Andrew Quaid out of the St. Louis area, and he mentioned you would be a good one to ask, and I said, well, that's funny because he was on my mind too. So
yeah.
I asked you. I had Paul Italia committed as well, but he backed out yesterday.
Oh, nice. I know Paul doesn't like to be in front of cameras a whole lot, and I tried to get him a couple times. He's not with it.
Yeah, well, he said sure, I'll do it, and he was happy to help, and then he said he got too busy, but
Right.
he was real nervous about the technology part. He was like, "You're going to have to help me," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not that tough. You just have to click a link." And I don't know, but I've never met the guy. I just I heard he's getting popular.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. I mean, I guess depending on how you perceive everything he does on Facebook, when you meet him face to face, he's awesome, and you can tell for sure he's genuine. I think sometimes people misread his posts and everything, and kind of the way he presents himself on social media. But when you meet him, it takes 5 minutes to know he's a genuine dude.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of heard. It's exactly what I heard because I had never heard of him until last week, and Andrew Quaid was telling me, "Yeah, you should get him on there. He would attract some people."
Well, he's all over the place, man. He's doing he's all over the place from California back and forth to New York. So he's heavily involved with both coasts.
So is he just kind of promoting things? I know is he new to the industry or what?
Yeah, he's definitely new. He kind of came on the scene maybe about, I want to say, no more than a year ago, right before COVID. I guess it would have been maybe 2. But yeah, and he came in and he was practicing. I mean, came right on the scene, immediately linked up with a bunch of people, and started training out west with Nancy Locke and them. And then came back out east with Steve Black and those guys on the East Coast in New York, and pipelined in with Travis and now Todd Hutchings and everybody else. So he tore his bicep not too long ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, and that kind of sidelined him. I know he's never competed yet, but he definitely has a passion for the sport. I mean, he went all the way out and traveled and seen all the origin places in Petaluma and everything, and he got the Grand Tour. So he's all about it.
Awesome. I'll keep on bugging him in a nice way. So I'm sure you've heard about the tournament Saturday in Kansas City.
Yes. Yes. You got a bunch of super matches and stuff going on, right? What are you expecting for turnout wise? Is there a lot of people committed already for the actual tournament?
Yeah, I think Brian was talking maybe 400 entries.
Wow. That would be huge.
Yeah, I think it might be in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Not sure.
It's funny because there's been such a with the inactivity because of COVID, the big tournaments and the ones that are promoted correctly are actually, I think some of them are doing better. I know down in Alabama they killed it. I think they had close to 300 entries, which I don't think normally they get that many for that one.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and that was who ended up winning the overall there. Not sure.
Yeah, 400 entries is a ton. We've had one that has gotten that big, and it went to midnight. So that's the only downside.
Well, Kansas City pulls big numbers anyway.
So right, normally, right?
Yeah.
What's standard for for a big event out there?
Kansas City is probably 300.
Nice.
Yeah, Fallen Heroes and NatFit are typically 300 plus.
Right.
On those 2 big ones. We typically have 2 big ones per year, sometime in the spring, early fall, with the Fallen Heroes, and they're big events. We get big names out. They're big events.
That Fallen Heroes has been going on for quite a few years now, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, this be his 5th this year. 2016.
Yeah, I think that tournament was going on when I first started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When did you start? 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah. I guess I'm going into 5 now. I'd say the very tail end of 2015.
Nice.
Yeah.
That you just did a New York tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, that was kind of a cope. Well, it was a James Reed in CNY Arm Wrestlers. That's a guy that I work hand in hand with for all the events, and that was one of his traditional events. So we lost the New York State Championship because it got reported a week before. So that the whole Underground series is kind of an alternative to really heavily promoted stuff. So it was interesting. We still had a very good turnout. I mean, it was so close to 200 entries, and it was pretty much invite only. We didn't promote it really at all, other than inside a small exclusive group.
Yeah, you didn't lose a match, did you?
In the regular tournament, no.
Yeah,
no. And then we did the Gary Roberts had that ROTN at the end. I eventually did lose to Paul Talbot the second round through. So it was a new concept. It's very interesting. I kind of focused on that. I only pulled one class. Normally I'll pull the supers also, but with the ROTN, that concept, I figured I'd try and stay fresh and see what I could do.
Yeah, you looked good. I saw some clips of it.
Yeah, I just got into a rhythm. That's all. Sometimes you find a niche and you're hitting the go right and everything. Things work out.
Yeah. It's hard to stay in a rhythm like that with guys like Jason Merlot and Paul Talbot coming up every 5 minutes. So you stayed up there for a while with that kind of talent up there.
Yeah, I had fun. Things worked out, and then when Paul beat me the second time through, he did the same thing. He ran the table to the very end as well.
Oh, cool. Did you go to Utah shortly after with Bob Brown?
I did. Yeah. That was a work trip. And
really?
It was a work trip. So I get to travel once in a while for work. So Bob Brown, Jordan Sill was probably like 2 minutes from me. So really? Bob, we all met up at Bob's. Bob organized it. I really had no idea what was. He just said, "Hey, all right, we're gonna have it at my place." And I got there. There was about 30 guys there, and some real good ones too. So that was a blast. And it was a good, when you travel for work, that's usually not fun. So that at least cut the monotony for me. So yeah, it was awesome to get to work with those guys. They go hard for sure.
Does Jordan still live in Utah?
Yeah, yep. He lives in Layton, Utah, right in the Ogden area. So right outside of Salt Lake, which is where Bob is.
Did you spar with him any?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was the first person that I grabbed. Yeah, so I don't know you can gauge anything after that.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown up after that. But yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's so big in person. Yeah. Like you can see on TV that he's big, but he's just got a presence, and he doesn't weigh that much. It's crazy. I mean, he looks like he weighs 250 and he weighs like 230.
Yeah.
So he's got a hand size to match it, size and strength. He's really the total package.
Yeah. Seems like he's a heck of a lot better than he's been good for a long time, but I don't know. I think COVID treated him well.
Right. Well, I mean, he's not. I got to talk to him quite a bit there, and he's just a nice guy too, which would be easy to talk to and everything. So he would never make the excuse. But when he pulled Rob Vigent, he tore a ligament in his lower wrist in the second match, which he hadn't had fixed. I mean, when he pulled Storm, and I think he had 2 other WAL matches with that injury before he got the surgery. So I believe he got the surgery. He's just recovering off of it. That last tournament that he did where he looked really, really good against Hutchings and everybody, I think was his first healthy tournament back. So I think he lost with that tear. He lost a lot of his style, which is like down pressure driven, like dump wrist, like low hand. He lost a lot of that low hand containment. And I think he kind of struggled to figure out other options with that injury. So I think he's what does he got? He got Ron Bath coming up here.
Yeah.
That should be good. Because Ron looked really good. Mm-hmm. Is it both hands?
Yep.
Yeah, right and left.
Okay. Yeah, and Ron looked really good against Jonathan Breda.
Yeah. No, he did. I think that was left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They both looked really good.
Yeah. I mean, but Breda's dominant hand is left. And Ron's is not. And last time I got to pull with Ron, he talked about like his left missing like certain components. Like he basically pulled very defensively with his hand, and he talked about his arm and his elbow not being there. Well, I mean, to drop Breda down into a hook and grind him out the way that match kind of went out,
Yeah.
If that's any inclination as to where his right is, he might be scary good right now. And I believe that match between him and Jordan Wright is going to be really, really interesting, mainly because neither of them start fast. So I think what Jordan kind of struggles with that quick start. You know, like it's going back to that practice, Craig Touye, who is also in a great form right now. His initiation is definitely a problem for Jordan. So when you got Ron Bath, who has probably a similar size, strength, hand, and they both are okay with starting that match slow, it becomes really, really interesting. But I mean, after looking at Ron pull left arm against Breida, I feel like he might have the edge on Jordan left.
Yeah. I didn't know, but I felt like that match with Bath and Breida, when I was watching it, it felt like Bath's experience overcame. You know, he just made some adjustments and table knowledge, and it was one of the better matches I've seen in a little bit, but pretty exciting
for sure.
Yeah,
I've got a little inside information on Sill, and Cody Merritt, who trains with Sill all the time, would highly disagree that Bath is the favorite on the left side. He thinks it's probably going to go 3-0. I mean, this is coming from a WAF world champion, and he doesn't think that Bath's going to be able to do anything with him left-handed.
I got to agree, man. I think Sill takes it left-handed.
Yeah, I think Sill takes it left-handed. I think it's really tight right-handed.
Only reason I'm backing him is because I just pulled him. Only both of them.
Ron, my boy, I love both of these guys, but I think Sill's got the edge left-handed.
It's going to be interesting. You think it's going to be a 3-0?
I don't know about 3-0. I mean, based on that TAL event, I liked what I saw of Jordan because, like you said, he's typically a slow starter, but that was some of the most offensive pulling that I've seen him do in a long time, and that may be because he lost some of that containment. So when Jordan pulls offensively, he is a dangerous human. He's dangerous on slow starts. But if he gets on his side of the table off the go, I don't think there's anything you can do to bring him back. That's
right.
This is a beastly 245-pound Paul Linn too.
Yeah, right.
Sill, Jordan Sill.
Yeah. Sill, yeah.
Is he up to 245? He was
I think he's 245.
Wow,
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
He did say he was working to try and get his weight up, but he said he was 230 in the morning when I was out there.
Well, he looks all at 245.
He looks 245 for sure.
He said they were telling everybody that he was 240 because he weighed in with clothes and boots. That day, he said he was
that happens.
20s,
yeah, I get the same thing, man. It's like, if you want me to come in with jeans and everything on, then maybe I am 230. But when I weigh myself in the morning and it says 214, that's a whole different animal.
What are you weighing these days?
Like 215. I was 215.6 at the end of the day today. So I'm still light.
Yeah.
But that keeps me in cut range. Not that I'm cutting for anything, but
if they do another Arnold's, would you pull it again first of all, and would you pull 242 if so?
If I do want to pull the Arnold again. That's like definitely something. I mean, honestly, I don't see myself ever being able to be 242. My frame can't hold it. I'm not tall enough.
You wouldn't need to be. I just wondered, since you already won 198, why go back and do it? Why not try to conquer 242?
Right. I'd have to think about it. And to be honest with you, depending on who shows up, the 242 could possibly be the easier class. I mean, when you, it's 242 because not everybody recognizes it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes, at least in the Northeast where I'm at, if a Marcio Barboza or a Todd Hutchings, they're pulling supers anywhere that they go locally. You know what I mean? Yeah. So without those guys in that 42 class, I mean, if you really think about it, it's all the guys who were in WAL 225s. Those were the real dangerous ones in North America. So a lot of times if you go to like a tournament around here and we have a 42 or a 35 class, something like that, a lot of times that's the lightest class. So I guess it all depends. I mean, but that would be interesting, and not having to cut would be really, really nice.
What are the classes typically up where you're at?
Some will do like the WAF style classes, the kilogram classes, but we've kind of gravitated towards more like a 20-pound weight difference, like with rounder numbers. So like an 85, a 210, you know what I mean? Like
that's what NatFit's doing.
Yeah, it's so much easier those increments in my opinion. But you can't please everybody with weight classes. There's always a handful of people who are pissed off at you. So
right.
Yep. I was going to ask you about the WAL because Bowen and Devin, a lot of these high-profile social media arm wrestlers, they're kind of trying. It seems like they're taking arm wrestling scene to YouTube. And I like that, I really do. But the WAL, like, other sports, they're figuring it out. They didn't stop everything. So I know you know more about them than I do. So what's the deal?
I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of people who are under contract that don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I know that when they email us and when they talk to us, they tell a lot of good stuff, like a lot of plans in the future and reality shows and all kinds of stuff. But until I see a date out for an event, I'm not holding my breath. The thing that they told us when everything kind of shut down was that they couldn't bring the production crews from California and those type of things. And I think now what it's come down to, like if I'm reading between the lines, I know how important it is for the WAL to have true sponsors, like valuable, like economically viable sponsors. Steve's not doing that stuff out of his pocket. So I think the concern really is with the perception of having an event during the pandemic being negative and hurting the opportunity for sponsors. So that's just looking at it completely objectively from a business perspective. I believe that that's what's going on. I do believe that they have the intention to come back, but I also know that there are a lot of contracted athletes whose contracts are up like now.
Yeah.
So and the more important ones, not the guys like me. So
I do feel like they could have done it without a crowd, though. Like the UFC's been pulling it off, couldn't they just
100%. That's not even like they haven't even said anything about not that at all. It's they're the rationale that they've given us isn't that, because I mean what's more like, I mean, we're completely socially distanced other than one person and a referee.
Yeah.
So
there's more to it.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a lot what you said, though. The sponsorship might not have been quite there. And then your California production crew, which I didn't know that's where they were coming from, definitely probably couldn't help out. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it is leaving the opportunity for these big money matches. And like the Ryan Bowen match with RBJ, if it happens, and the Michael Todd and Devin match, they're talking about like the biggest purses ever.
Yep. Oh yeah. And when you said if it happens on the RBJ match, do you have some doubts?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I got some doubts. I got some reasons why, but
yeah.
Let's just see what happens and see if I'm right on the back end. But I don't know.
Well, I hope it happens. I
hope so too.
For the record, I think RBJ wins that match, but I mean, Ryan, man, I don't know. I've doubted him before, so
yeah,
and he's proven me wrong.
I think it can be closer than people think, but I do think that over the course of 5 matches or 6 matches, whatever they're doing, Rob's a different dude.
I saw, I think the day it was confirmed, or maybe a day or two after, Devin and Bowen posted, a side-by-side video on each of their channels. They were talking about it, and it seemed like Ryan, he may have changed his mind by now, but he told Devin that he's going to try to crack him straight side, no strap. And Devin just starts laughing. He's like, "You're going to have to get to the strap with him." I agree. Like, I think RBJ maybe besides Brzezinski, might have the best hand for a 200-pounder ever.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. It is enormous hand.
Yeah.
Enormous.
All right. I'm going to switch over to this slideshow I made showing some of the super matches, and we can talk a little bit about them. Let's see here. I'm going to start with the ladies. Make sure that's the first slide. Yep.
All right.
I don't know either one of these girls, but I was hoping maybe Bill did or one of you guys did.
I know Robin. I know Robin. I don't know.
I know Robin.
Yeah, so give me the rundown on her opponent.
I don't know, Cole. You know anything about her opponent?
Yeah, she pulls out of Oklahoma. I've watched her pull a couple times, but it's always hard to tell where somebody's at in women's events because sometimes not many show up. But from what I've seen out of her, she's a really solid puller. But I also watched Robin Chandler with Martha Swick, and it was a super tight match. And I know Martha's got a lot of horsepower. I mean, I would probably give a slight edge to Robin, but I know Annie trains really hard. So it could be a tight match. Her left's really solid.
Yeah.
Was that in Kentucky you saw that match or somewhere else?
No, it was actually in Kansas City. Yeah, they pulled multiple times. Martha actually won that match, but it was super tight.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin has come and trained here a couple times, and she's made our events. When I worked with her, she's pretty confident in her left. I know she's pulling Martha Swick right. I think I don't, like I said, I don't know her opponent, so I don't want to disrespect anybody. But I feel like Robin's left healthy is probably favorite. And that I'm only saying that because she's tough overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against a lot of high level girls. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see that one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to go with Chandler.
Yeah.
Seems that's the consensus. We'll see.
This is the one I don't know.
So you don't know Swick, or you do?
No, I know Martha. I know Martha very well. Yeah.
So you just don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I would give her the favorite right now. I would put Martha as a favorite. She's been progressing. She's from up here. She comes to all the New York tournaments and stuff. She's gotten so good. And she's recently traveled around and really racked up some accomplishments. I'd have to put her as a favorite, in my opinion.
Should be close. I think Chandler beat Swick at Kentucky Muscle last year. I think.
Okay.
But
right
Kansas City, I think so. But I think Kansas City is more recent. And if Cole said she, might be different now.
Yeah, interesting.
I think that was 2018 when I saw 2018 or 2019 when I watched that match. So it hasn't been that recent, but it was super tight at that point.
It was close there too, if I remember right.
It was a back and forth match?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super tight. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Martha.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going with Martha.
3-2.
I'm going with Chandler just to be the odd one out here. This is, well, Dylan's on my team, Mr. Burns, so I'm probably most excited for this match, maybe besides the Sill and Bath match. But Dylan Burns and Isaac Luna, right and left hand.
Okay.
So
I'll self-admittedly, I have seen Isaac pull a few times, like on highlights and stuff. I've never met him in person. I really don't know his level. I've seen him dominate some tournaments when I first got in. And I know I read your write-up on Mr. Burns Dylan. And his pedigree. So I guess my question to you guys is, because you guys work with him and everything, is he is a lot of that pedigree? Is that, is he following in those footsteps as far as genetic gifts and everything?
Yes, especially his style for sure, and his strength. He's just he doesn't have as big of a hand as his dad did, not even close. But everything else, he's got the speed.
Right.
I mean, he's got the work ethic too, but just insanely good puller. And he's been on fire lately.
What's the weight cap for this?
He didn't have it on here, but Dylan usually pulls at
55. Dylan's walking, probably 45, isn't it?
45.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the weight cap's probably 55, but Dylan's walking in that, under that for sure. He could make 43 easy.
I know Luna's not, I know Isaac's not that tall, but I mean, he's enormous.
Right.
I see him posting videos and pictures pulling with Fabian Cologne, who was huge, deep inside and everything. So
I talked to Dylan about this match, and he's very confident right-handed with Mr. Luna there, but he's not nearly as confident left-handed.
Okay.
He thinks he's going to have to bring his best version of his best day to beat him left-handed. He didn't say he couldn't do it. He wasn't as confident left-handed.
Right.
So I think Luna does take it left.
Yep.
Right-handed, I think it's tough too.
Right-handed, it is tough, but that match that he recently had with Michael Hitt up at your St. Louis event, I mean, that was a pretty good warm-up for Luna. I mean, Michael Hitt's a power hooker, just like Luna is, and he was able to get him out of his power, basically the full part of the match.
So he did beat Mike Hitt?
He did beat Mike Hitt.
Beat him the last 3 times.
They're really close, though.
Was that a super match?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. How did it score out? Was it a sweep?
3-2 on fouls.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's never a sweep with those guys.
They went 1-2 at Illinois State too this year.
I mean, they go up there as lawyers because they argue for every inch.
Right.
They're up there.
It takes 30 minutes each match.
Yeah. All right.
I like Dylan Wright, but Luna trains with Corey Miller too. He's smart. They're going to be prepared. So,
all right, Mr.
Cole's he's on the podcast right now. None of us are allowed to have opinion. He has to tell us how it's going to go, and we have to live with it.
I love tough love. Let's hear it. Let's hear what you got.
I don't know.
So I say Cole wins both.
Appreciate it, Bill.
So here's the thing, Cole. I do because I trade with Brent, right?
Yep.
And he's pulled both you guys, and that's coming from him. So that's my opinion, is Brent's opinion.
Well, I value Brent's opinion, so I appreciate that. That's what I hear from.
So I think Tim's going to have a hard time with your hand. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think stylistically, I do think it favors me, especially left-handed. I mean, the spots, I'm not going to say the spots that he struggles with in recent events. I feel like that's where my strengths are. So I think he's going to have a hard time dealing with my height, dealing with my hand. So we'll see.
What's the weight cap?
He says he's feeling strong. 235 is the weight cap.
35.
So he's walking in. I'm cutting weight this week, so he's got a little advantage there. But I am going to walk in, weighing close to 250 day of. So
yeah, that's not an advantage for him. What are you saying?
well, he doesn't have a cut. I mean, I've got a cut 14 pounds. So.
Oh, that's sauna work. You're good.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But yeah, right-handed. I think it'll be tight right-handed, but I really think I'm going to sweep him left-handed. I really do. So.
What's the disparity between your right and left? Like, how would you know what I mean?
Man, well, for the longest time, it was significant. I mean, but I'm a completely different puller. I mean, left-handed, I would say I've got more wins on national level pullers like, Sonny Larson, Kevin Nelson, guys like that. Really good matches with Ryan Clark. Right-handed, I haven't quite got there yet, but at the moment, I kind of went through an injury left-handed, which is back now. But I would say right-handed, I'm really similar now. I don't think there's much.
Right. So the injury caught the right up, huh?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I guess kind of Devin's growing the giant pumpkin thing, not being able to train my left and just focus on my right. I mean, honestly, I would kind of argue that my right may be better than my left now, but my left stylistically probably a little harder to deal with for most guys that haven't pulled me before.
Isn't it funny how that works? Like, I believe in that wholeheartedly. And I believe it's not even just a product of only having one side to train. I feel like it's like your brain saying, like, this is healing, everything else grow. It's weird.
Right.
I've gone through that too.
I would say there's a compensation factor in there, like your brain just doing its thing.
Yeah.
All right, Vanderweird versus Billy Croup. These guys are pretty local. I mean, I think they're both Missourians, aren't they, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Billy's Illinois.
Okay, Croup's Illinois. I knew he's how far into Illinois?
And I think Cody's Kansas, actually.
Oh yeah, he is barely because he trains on that Missouri.
Yeah, he's Eudora, I think, with Bo. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna go Croup on this one. I'm just gonna come out here and say it. He's really impressed me lately, and I think if Cody could get a win on him right-handed, I think that would be Cody's best win to date, but that's me not knowing all his wins either. But just what I know, I think he's a good puller. But I watched Croup take on this the promoter of this tournament, Brian Kerner, probably 18 months ago or a year ago, and I thought Brian was gonna wax him, and Billy won and ended up hurting Brian in that tournament. So.
Well, Billy's my guy, so I'm definitely going Billy. Cody's really strong. If Cody can stop Billy's hand and keep it inside, it's definitely going to get interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really hard for him to do, though. Billy's hand's incredible, so we'll see.
What do you think, Cole?
I agree with Bill. I mean, if it goes inside, I mean, Vanderweird's going to win. In my opinion, pretty handily, but I don't know if he can get it done or not. I mean, like you said, Billy's got a great hand. He was able to keep Brian outside, which I would argue Brian has some of the best containment in that class, even on a national level. So if Brian couldn't throw him into a hook, might be a struggle for Cody to get him there.
Yep. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This match
that's happening.
Yeah. Yep. Did you talk to him, Cole? Caleb?
No, I did not get a chance to talk to him today. I don't know what happened, honestly, why he had to pull out.
What did you hear, Bill?
Billy told me, but honestly, I forget what it was. Okay. So he just said it was off.
For the record, I would have probably picked Caleb for this one, but I don't know a whole lot about Croup's left.
Caleb's left is tough. Yeah, he's got a good left.
Yeah.
I would have still gone Billy.
I really wish this match was happening.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. I can't wait to see this one. Roger Nowatzki, I think I'm saying that right, and Bob Brown.
What? Is there no weight cap on this?
Did you pull? I know you probably sparred with Bob Brown while you were in Utah. Did he pull a King's move on you?
Oh yes. Yeah.
I know that's kind of what he does these days. So I just
his King's move is different than the other ones I've really dealt with. He runs. He doesn't go B side as much. Like he'll go B side a little bit, but it's all rising. And his like bone lock or whatever it is even tighter than Michael Todd's. Like once you hit it, it's like, and you're nowhere near the pin line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
Tricky. He's offensive with it too. Like he's not just rolling out. You know what I mean? He's rising up. Yeah, that's really interesting. But didn't Roger at the last Arnold we were at beat Perez Sadrakian?
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't care how that happened or whatever circumstances were involved. Anybody who's beating that guy is serious.
Yeah.
What's the weight though? Isn't Nowatzki like a 170 and Bob Brown like 220?
I
No?
I think Nowatzki's around 200 pounds. I think.
Really?
When he was at the Arnold, he pulled 76, but he probably cut to get there. But I know Bob didn't look 220. Maybe he is. I don't know. He didn't look 220 though.
Maybe it's 205.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in my class. I'm doing the 205, and I think I got both of these guys in my class. I actually lost to Roger the last Kansas City tournament I did, but it was a slip that they call the pin. I tried to slip with him because I didn't think I could take his hand, and anyways, yeah. So I got a loss on him. I've never pulled Bob Brown.
So I think Nowatzki's faster, but Brown takes it. It's going to probably go straps, and he's going to be too tricky and outlast him.
Yeah, Roger got to finish him quick. What are the rules here? I mean, what type of rules?
It's a WAL setup with WAF rules, I think.
Okay, so there is slipping to losing. No running fouls, slipping to losing.
No running fouls. No running fouls. I think it's WAF rules. It's just the WAL setup.
So they close your hands.
Yeah, it's like ref script every time.
For the tournament, it is, but the super match competitors get to decide on their own rules.
I would assume Bob went SWAF then.
Yeah, I would assume so too.
Probably Nowatzki too.
Yeah.
Based on what you said, Paul, I'm going to pick Bob Brown. If he's offensive with his King's move, then that must mean he's pretty quick. And if he's quick, I can see him getting Roger problems.
Yeah, I don't know how twitchy he is. I don't know how much of a fast starter he is. He just once he gets it locked in, he's not sitting there bleeding you as much. He's trying to be offensive. I think if Roger's going to beat him, he's got to pin him fast, and that gets tricked. I mean, it's best of 3, so there's a possibility.
Yeah,
that match could be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Tim Lewis and David Hodgson. So I don't know if you know.
Yeah, tell me about David Hodgson.
So I had a super match with him last summer, and right.
Okay.
And I think it was last summer. Yeah, it was. It was June last summer, and he is stout. It was best of 3. I sweeped him, but I think if I didn't have speed, it would have been a different ball game.
Which arm's dominant?
Me it's right-handed, and David I think it's the same. David Hodson's the same. Cole, what do you think?
Man, they are so similar stylistically. I mean, they're both pretty slow. And they both have a really solid outside hook lock. I mean, which kind of worries me a little bit for David, just for the fact that I haven't seen many people outlast Tim Lewis in a slow pull. But it's just going to depend. I mean, if David can keep on his shoulder and get to where he can finish the match once Tim gets stretched out, I mean, he can pull it off. But if he makes it about the long game like he typically does, that outside hook, it's going to be a war. But I've got to go with Tim just for the simple fact that I just don't see Tim lose wars. Even though he's my boy and I train with him, just objectively, that's how I see it.
Yeah, call your buddy and tell him to channel his inner speed.
Yeah, he needs to be quick. Yeah, side pressure, speed, get it done quick for sure.
Well, the thing about it is Tim's another guy that's pseudo local to me, and he's really I think he might be hitting a peak right now as far as his arm wrestling career goes on his left. He's done some really impressive stuff lately. And now he's actually climbing up the rankings, which he never really had any aspirations of doing. And now he's starting to target people left arm. So he realizes that he's kind of in that discussion in the top 10 now. So I think that's kicked him into gear a little bit more. So, and he's also shored up a lot of his holes. You know, his ability to get to the strap is so much better. His ability to keep his hand in the strap is so much better now. So, like you said, if he stops the match, I don't know how many people are pulling through him.
I think I've not pulled Tim Lewis, and I've been to a few tournaments with him, just never got matched up with him. And I think David is stronger right. I mean, Tim Lewis is his right's not his hand. It's his left. And but
oh yeah, this is a right-handed match. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, that's way more interesting now.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
No, left-handed, I give it to Lewis. But no, left-handed, I would give it to Tim Lewis without a doubt.
Okay.
But right-handed, I think David's stronger.
Like I was in my head, I was just thinking Tim Lewis, and he only takes left-handed matches, and I just took the flyer. No, that's interesting, man. I mean, Tim's left. I mean, he had an injury. He had shoulder surgery a couple years back that he never fully recovered from. So I don't know. It could be interesting.
Yeah, Cole, you train with David Hodgson, so has he been training lately?
Yeah. He's been training hard. He's always in the gym. I mean, he's an absolute gym rat. But I haven't pulled with him in a couple months. I think we've just been hitting different practices. But I think he's definitely been training. So
Okay.
he always comes in ready. He's always got a ton of stamina. He's always in great shape. It just how explosive can he be off the go? I mean, even right-handed, Tim. I mean, he's not the same guy as he is left-handed, but still, you don't really want to play the long game with him either.
Right.
No. What do you think, Bill?
I like Dave a lot. I think Tim's just going to be a little too much for him. It's definitely going to the hook. They got the same style.
Yeah.
Best of 5 leans Tim for sure. But you're right. Tim's dominant left. Dave's still good left, but he's probably dominant right. But I think Dave might be able to pull one off. But Tim takes it.
I will say this. I'll add this. Dave is one of those guys. He's almost like a Dallas Langston type as far as out of the strap versus in the strap. So if he goes to the strap, he is a completely different human. So and he's very good in the strap. So and I'm assuming he's going to try to get there all 3 times. So he can definitely cause Tim some issues in strap.
Here's another factor that could play in. Tim, because he's so focused on left, and because he can get in his head sometimes, can like self-inflict. He at times kind of gives himself permission to perform poorly right arm. You know what I mean? And he'll write it off well. It's
like a confidence thing.
Yeah, it's like sometimes he'll do really well, and then other times the tournament won't start right or the match won't start right, and he'll go, "Oh, I don't care." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right. So that could play in the favor for David. So
yeah, Dave's a gamer, so
it'll be interesting. All right, now this one I'll go ahead and say I'm going to give the edge to Tim Lewis.
Yeah.
But
I love Kevin,
Harris,
man.
He's a beast.
I love Kevin. He's good, man. He's such a great dude too. I getting to meet him and everything, but man, Tim's the wrong guy right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Kevin Harris is so good, both hands. Like,
I know.
He's been doing it
forever. Yeah. And it's like he's not really trending down, you know.
No, I think there's a good argument that he's better than he's ever been.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah. What do you think, Bill?
Tim.
Yeah.
3-0. The same thing. I think it's kind of the same style. It goes inside, and Tim's too much.
Now, if we switched it around and fresh right-handed, I'd give it to Kevin. I've pulled Kevin, I've pulled David, and I've watched him pull right, and Kevin's right is impressive. He got a good hook.
How do you think you'd do against Tim, Drew?
Right-handed, I feel very confident. Left-handed, I would not stand a chance. So, let's see, Robert Lopez versus Mike West. So Lopez is a co-promoter of this tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's in his best form ever. I know that for a fact. I talked to him a little bit here and there, and
He's
just
gonna
watched.
need to be.
Yeah. See,
what's his style?
He's I'd say he's versatile. He's explosive.
Trains
Mike
with
West
Bo.
is a beast, man.
Hmm?
Yeah. He
Mike
trains with
West is a
Bo.
beast.
Yeah.
I'm not. See, I'm not a. I don't know a whole lot about Mike West. I've seen him at a ton of tournaments, but I must have been going to the bathroom during his matches. I don't know. Looks like he's won some crazy.
I mean, he's been pulling for 30-something years.
Yeah, he's one of them like world traveled world competitors. You know what I mean? Who's been doing it forever and still doing it at a high level for sure. I got to practice with him a couple times and met him at the Arnolds, met him at Sit Down Nationals, actually competed against him there. Yeah, the guy's amazing. And he's the nicest guy. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Robert Lopez. I mean, I do think that, Mike probably is coming towards that twilight of his career, and there's probably some spots that could potentially give him problems stylistically, but I don't know enough about Robert to know if he's that guy.
Robert's a great dude.
Great guy.
And he's tricky. I mean, I think he just who'd he get that win over?
At NatFit.
Tim Lewis. I think he just beat Tim Lewis.
Yeah.
So he did get that win. He could flash Mike, but when Mike gets in that catch lock position,
right?
I don't know. I think he's in trouble at that point. But could he take him straight to the pad? He could do it for sure. I don't think he's going to do it 3 times though.
What do you think, Cole?
Well, I think Lopez knows he's coming in as an underdog, and he's completely fine with that. I mean, just like you guys said, he has to win quick, and Lopez he's a very explosive puller, and he's going to have to use all of that against Mike, because Mike's that slow, contain, and just slow drag you to the pad, and that drag hook style puller, and Lopez cannot try to play that game with him. If he gets caught, he might as well lay it down because it's over. But like you guys said, he could flash him, but he's going to have to flash him to win that match.
Yeah. So on paper, I'd say Mike West should win, but I'm going to go with Lopez. He's been looking good the last few tournaments I've seen him. Yeah.
It's a win-win for him.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this one. Sheldon and Ryan Johnston. I think the favorite's definitely Sheldon. Ryan Johnston, he's got a mean hook. I think everyone knows that. So I guess Sheldon, I know he's really good in the strap, but I don't know. I would pick Sheldon to win this one.
Right.
It'll be interesting. Ryan's tricky too.
Yeah, Ryan's experienced. I mean, he's been doing it a long time. He's the promoter of the Fallen Heroes tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been training hard, and he's excited for this one. So, and I'm
another
excited.
win-win for him, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. What do you think, Cole?
I honestly think this one's going to be a lot tighter than people think. I mean, a lot more people know Jamie than they know Ryan, but if Ryan can keep it even neutral in the hands, Ryan has a lot of arm. If he can make it about the arm at all, I give Ryan the edge. But if it's about the hand game and Jamie can flop him, and Ryan only has flop press to go to, which Ryan's still good in, but I give the edge to Jamie. I mean, if he cracks his hand that first match, the edge obviously goes to Jamie. But if he can even stop that match in a neutral palm-to-palm position in the middle of the table, Johnston has a lot of arm. So I think it's gonna be tighter than people think. But I mean, I give the edge to Jamie. I'm gonna say 3-2 Jamie, but it could be 3-2 the other way.
Yep. I think it's Daniel Duncan and John Jennings. Is that his first name? Daniel? Dalton. Okay. Dalton.
Yeah. So tell me about Jennings. All right, because I think I know who he is.
He's a bad dude.
Yeah, I think I know who he is.
I'm not 100% sure who Dalton is. I just know John.
I know Dalton's been doing a lot of things too.
I know who Dalton is.
Yeah.
Did he just win Mississippi State like undefeated after he took a super match?
Yeah, something crazy. He's been mopping up down there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jennings wouldn't have taken the match if he wasn't like 100%, and he doesn't travel much or get out. But
Right.
he is nasty,
Yeah, he is.
Right.
high level nasty.
Right. Okay.
I seen him in Arkansas poll, and he won convincingly against everybody. So
Okay.
So I like Jennings.
Okay.
I'm Switzerland. I don't have a choice here. I don't know. Let's see. I know Cunningham. I think he either lives in Iowa or northern Missouri. I'm not sure. Somewhere up there. And Dylan Burns has never beat Cunningham in the 54 class. So that tells me that I'm going to say Cunningham's got this. Because Dylan's over there against him. So
Cunningham's got some crazy side pressure. He's got a little hand, and I don't know. This side pressure's out of this world for a little guy. And he's like probably walking at 140 pounds. He weighs in with like steel toe boots and like a coat on, and he's like 149.
his dad was a legend, wasn't he?
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave Cunningham. So,
So this is Jake Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he? I guess better. I guess wasn't he nursing an injury?
That I don't know.
I'm sure he's better. I don't know if it was both hands. I know he's coming down too. I think he used to be 76, right?
Yeah, he was at the Arnold. I think when we were there, and I got to after pool with him, and he pulled the 76s. He was big, and I was really impressed with his hook, his inside game.
He's fast too.
Really impressed. And I think he made some mistakes in the tournament that kind of cost him, but I don't think it was a power issue.
yeah.
Yeah. I think if go ahead, Cole. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say Jake's super high level, just like Paul's saying. I mean, but I'm used to seeing Jake when he's 185, smashing Chris Gotti. So it's really hard to know what he looks like at 154. I mean, if he's just got crazy lean and retained a lot of that power, I mean, Cunningham may be in for a long day because he is an extremely well-rounded puller and has a ton of horsepower. But like I said, what's the difference between 185 Jake and 154 Jake? And does he walk in there weighing 168 day of after weight? It's hard to know where he's at.
That's a lot of weight, regardless, though. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I think he pulled 155 at Brewski's last year or at the end of last year, maybe. And he did pretty good. He looked good. He's fast, so if he gets in his spot, Cunningham's going to probably be in trouble too. But he's one of them guys that could still pull through that.
Yeah,
it's weird side pressure what that kid's got.
Yeah.
That will be a good one to watch. Then this tournament, it's going to be awesome to watch. It's a lot of good matchups. And then the main event, we've kind of already went over that. It's hard not to talk about it. So we didn't save the best for last, but I'm going to go Seal right-handed, and I don't know. I guess I'm going to say Seal's going to win both, and I say he win them both 3-2.
Interesting. I think Sill's winning left, but I think Bath's going to beat him right-handed. I think right-handed maybe 3-2, but Sill left-handed is going to look relatively dominant, I think.
I don't know. I think it's hard to say with Ron because Ron didn't pull right arm at that last tournament in Alabama, did he? He didn't pull the tournament.
Just the super match, and then I think he reffed the rest of it.
So it's hard to gauge, but I mean, like I said, I wasn't necessarily expecting Ron to win that match against Breida, left arm. So him being able to win it and look really big, and some of the pictures he's been posting, he looks really big. So I don't know. I mean, I also think that Jordan Sills is right, being healthy now. felt better than his left. So that's why I think Ron could sneak the left-handed match. I actually think right now that this version of Jordan is the version of Jordan that can beat Ron right arm, unless he comes in like Godzilla big, which you never know.
It almost feels like a sin to bet against Ron Bath. But I don't know. I don't have a guy I'm rooting for. I don't care who wins, but I can't wait to watch that one. So have you ever arm wrestled Bath?
Not in a tournament, but I mean I practiced with him.
Have you?
Yeah, his hand is tricky, and he has the ability to drop down in that hook and everything too, when his side pressure is really, really on point. And I think when I pulled with him, he was saying that his side pressure wasn't great. He wasn't in great shape, and that's why his left felt a little bit more mortal at that time. But judging off of how he's recently performing, I think he might be back in good shape.
Yeah. Cole, I know. What'd you say earlier? I can't remember your prediction.
Well, I think Sill wins 3-1 lefty, because I think he's going to win 2 and see, because he always likes to test the waters a little bit. I think he's going to get a little bit lazy that third match and see if he can play with Ron a little bit. And I think Ron's going to dominate him in that third match. I think Sill's going to come back and beat him in the fourth. Right-handed. I've got to go Bath. I think it's going to be 3-0, 3-1 Bath.
There you go.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
You going to check it out, Paul? We'll be doing it live on Arm Fighter.
For sure.
Yeah, armfighter.com will be live.
And then after that match, then I think both of those guys have matches set up with Chance Shaw. I believe so.
Chance is going to be there.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he going to pull supers?
Yeah.
I think he has to, doesn't he?
Yeah. He must be pretty confident because he was just pulling Cataract Saturday. So he must be confident. He posted on social media him beating Cataract in practice, but I guess Chance showed up fashionably late is what they said.
Last time I saw Chance, he beat Zena up here. So,
I want to know how good Chance is. He looks phenomenal in videos. I've never seen him pull in person, but I mean, from everything I've heard, he's as good as he looks on film. So
he's good.
Yeah,
he's
he
good.
looks good.
He's like I've worked with him quite a bit. He comes up to the house and stays and trains for like if he's getting ready for something. Flights are real cheap from Florida here, but. Yeah, he's also one of them guys where he's always battling his weight. So if he's trying to lose weight and like eating clean, a lot of times he's like he has a notable effect on his performance. He's also another guy that sometimes mentally doesn't show up. But then when he does show up, like the guy that lost to Ryan Bowen is not the guy that beat Nick Zena. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's another one.
How would that match have looked under normal circumstances, though? With maybe real reffing and a bolted down table, Bowen and Chance.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, but listen, Chance came in there with a damn banana shirt and a pink hat. Like, don't tell me his mind. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but he looked good. He was dominant when he was dominant. So I don't know. He looked good there.
He was dominant until Ryan figured out the equation.
He had a Hawaiian shirt on and flip flops when he beat Zena too, and I think he got a win on Rockers that day. So
yeah, that's just disrespect.
And he was wearing flip flops the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
My opinion
on
Chance versus Bowen. My opinion on Chance versus Bowen's always been that Chance learned a valuable lesson about strap knowledge that day. I felt like Ryan got that strap set up to a T, and I think if they went again, it would be awesome.
They didn't tuck it.
They didn't do the fair strap. I can't. We're talking about a match that happened 2 years ago, and my goodness, they didn't do the fair strap. Okay, and so Chance came up to train with Storm in Iron State for the weekend in preparation for that match, like 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
And I basically said that Ryan will find his post when he doesn't have the buckle. He's going to try something dumb. He's going to screw up, and then he's going to find the spot. And if you're not defending your riser, you know what I mean? We talked about it, and Chance in typical Chance fashion didn't train for the next 6 weeks and just showed up to the match. Like he told me, he was like, we were talking about like, all right, storming out, like, all right, these are the things you need to make sure you show up. You got 6 weeks to do it. And he texted me right before I didn't train at all. So it is what it is.
He was confident.
Yeah,
he's got a ton of
confident
potential.
to wear a pink banana hat shirt thing.
Oh, you can pull that off.
Yeah, you gotta love the swag. You gotta love the swag. He's made it his own.
Yeah.
Tugboat.
Yep. You got the YouTube coming and everything.
Bill, you put on strongest badge. What is that in August? Or what?
August 14th. Yep.
August 14th, strongest badge. We need to get Paul in a super match.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
Strongest badge, St. Louis.
I've tried a couple times.
I know. I'm the worst. When football season rolls around, I can't do anything, and I shut down, focus on that, except for the local stuff. So usually, like July to like October, I'm like immersed in that.
Yeah,
and it seems like that's when everything's happening.
Always, right?
You said for work you went to Utah. What do you do?
I work for the government. So
gotcha.
Yeah, on base out there in Ogden, Utah.
Nice. All right, gentlemen. I have nothing more to add and children to take care of. So, and Cole, by the looks of it, you tried to. I know how it is. You had to get away from yours, or they wouldn't be quiet enough.
Yeah. The two little girls wouldn't have let me talk to you guys for this long. I promise you.
I got like doors shut and locked and everything right now, and you could probably still hear the background noise.
Yeah.
I just dropped the hammer over here. They know not to mess around.
Oh, I ain't got the juice, man. I ain't got the juice. They dominate me.
All right.
Thanks for having us, Drew.
No problem. Hey, thanks a lot. Everyone.
Thanks for the invite, brother. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Glad to be on. Always let me know what I can do to help. Just let me know.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you.
Paul.